As I do my nails, I just thought I should share the journey of this trip. Just a little bit of a background intro is I did not have the financial means to go on this trip. I cannot remember if it was because I didn't have a job at the time or I just simply did not have the financial means. I just believe that God would not let me be part of the dating process, praying for the wedding only to let me miss the wedding. I decided to share 3 stages I went through when I was praying and believing God for the miracle of going to this wedding. I am not sharing this as a template of how God works, but I'm sharing it as a story because I honestly cannot tell you why I believe that God would not have me pray so much for the wedding only to not let me be there, because He very well could have. Anyway, I've summarized it into 3 stages, and here they are. Stage 1: prayer and blind faith. When I found out about the date of the wedding and the location of the wedding, I just prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I prayed again and again. And then I suspended all reason and believed God's word. I anchored my prayers around 3 main scriptures, although they were more. I was like, God, on account of these 3 scriptures and the other ones, it warrants you making a way for me to get to this wedding. The 3 main scriptures were 1 Timothy 6:17, which says, "Command those who are rich in the things of this world not to be proud, but to place their hope not in such an uncertain thing as riches, but in God, who generously gives us everything for our enjoyment." John 15:16. "You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit, so that the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name." And then lastly, Psalm 37:4. "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and He shall give thee the desires of thine heart." Right, so I anchored my prayers around these scriptures. I think there were a couple of more that I mentioned, but these were the 3 main ones. And I just prayed and prayed and prayed and just suspended all reason and logic. Then the wedding date drew closer and closer, and the reality of not being able to get to the wedding was seeming further and further away. Then the reality started sinking in and returning. And this leads me to stage number 2, which is facing the reality of the impossibility. Then the reality started sinking in. Honestly, even before the reality started sinking in, I think a huge part of me believed that God would do it, but I thought He would do it with a little bit of my help. And when the reality started sinking in that right now I'm backed into the corner and there's honestly nothing I can do at this point in my own power to be able to get myself to this wedding, a huge part of me just started stressing and having anxiety. I had already committed in my heart, mind, and speech to going, but honestly, it was not looking likely, and I was stressed and feeling anxious. However, miraculously, I continued trusting God, praying, and had friends praying with me. But I was not at rest at all. I was panicking. And honestly, I think in my panic, I made lots of mistakes, and it prevented me from seeing solutions that were right in front of me. And then stage 3 came. Stage 3, the fulfillment. And then God fulfilled the promise, as you guys are seeing in this vlog series. Honestly, even at this time, He had not fully fulfilled the promise because I had enough money to get there, had accommodation, but in order to be able to afford to get back, I would need to spend 0 rand on the trip, which is obviously not likely because you always have to spend here or there. So I had to make the tough decision of going forward to go to the trip and believe with only 70% of the miracle visible to me. So then I prayed again and again and again. And then another friend who was not part of the process randomly contacted me asking me how I was doing. Incidentally, it was the same friend who got me to realize that I had not grieved not being able to complete my master's as a result of the pregnancy from episode 2 of the My Top 5 Habits series. I will link that video below. I told her the story and then we prayed together and she said, irate jump. I was so nervous, but I jumped. I had already pulled so many triggers, so I just jumped. And I also felt peace about it, even though I did feel scared. And surprise, surprise, God did not disappoint me. I spent 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, in the most expensive area in Joburg for free. Fully fed, Wi-Fi, a gigantic pool, the comfort of being in a home, own room, my own bathroom. Yes, I am talking about my friend's house, which you saw in the arrival vlog, which I will also link down below. And on top of that, I got time to spend time with my friend, who I ordinarily don't have time to spend time with because obviously we live miles apart and we are both very busy. And then someone just randomly gave me money. I got so much generosity and it was just such a fun, wholesome time. I got to extend the trip and meet another special person, which you will see towards the end of the vlog series. But having said that, it was not all sunshine and roses. I did have to borrow money, which I later paid over 2 months. I don't know if God would have approved of this, but I did it anyway. And I do not regret the trip because I had the time of my life. I got the experience of seeing my friend get married, bond with my other friend, and meet amazing people. And there are lots of things that I learned on this trip. In conclusion, I think the biggest lesson that I learned was when you trust God for the impossible, just don't do it. Don't look back, don't look side to side, just do it and don't stress. Either it happens or doesn't. Either way, God will catch you. Just like he did Peter, who was able to walk on water but drowned because he looked side to side and got distracted. But Jesus gently caught him anyway. I honestly believe in this whole story, I was just like Peter. I started with great faith and then I stressed along the way and got distracted. But Jesus caught me anyway.